I had the fortune to be here on the Super Bowl. Yeah, last
Did you
week.
notice who won?
Yeah.
Who won? I forgot.
I think was the Chiefs, right?
Oh, it was Kansas City. It was us, of course. But you know, there's something strange about Americans.
Tell me.
Well, there's many things. When we have a national championship, we call it world champions.
World champions, right?
I think only Americans do that. When we have football, American football, national, we're only national champions.
Yeah.
We say world.
Okay.
When our baseball has national, we go world champions. When our basketball, world champions. We're Americans. That's weird.
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of weird?
Yeah, you like each other, right? You like yourself.
Or some, yeah, we like something that's not entirely good.
But all the time people are telling me about a Bob Jones prophecy that involves the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl. What is this prophecy? What did he say?
This is so strange.
Yeah.
I met Bob Jones 40 years ago, March 7th. So we're at the end of February. So in about 2 weeks is my 40-year mark of meeting Bob Jones. I was a young pastor, 27. I'm 67 now. That's 27 plus 40.
Okay.
67. There's how it worked. And I had a young adult church, and he walked in, and he was strange to me and said all these things. I won't go into that right now.
You didn't know him?
No. I was.
But had you heard about him?
No.
Okay.
Yes, no. A man, a 60-year-old man. I had a young adult church of about 500 people, some number like that. And this old man in his 60s. I can say that because I'm in my 60s. But he was an old man to me. He said, there's a prophet in Kansas City that has seen this ministry. I thought, whatever. I thought it was flattery that this guy wanted to get on our platform so he could give prophecies. I go, nah, I'm not interested. He said, would you meet him? And I said, actually, I don't want to. Not really. And this old man came to me 2 weeks later and said, I'm really serious. You need to meet this man. He's had many visions about a young ministry that was coming to Kansas City in the spring of 1983, and that's you. I don't accept that. I said, no, I really don't want to. He came the third time. And I said, because you're 60s and I'm 20s,
Yeah.
just because you're old and I'm young, I will respect you.
Okay.
I'll meet this man for 15 minutes. He goes, I think you'll be surprised. I go, 15 minutes. I'm not that important, but I didn't want to meet. I had all these new young people at our new church, young adult church. We were all excited. And Bob Jones walked in, and I thought he was in his 60s. He's an old man. He was actually just in his 50s, but he looked way older to me. When you're in your 20s, sometimes
everyone is old.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And he said all these things, and I did not believe one word he said. Not one.
Really?
Not one word. He told me, you're going to have 24-hour prayer with singers and musicians.
So the first time he prophesied about this.
Yes. I didn't want 24-hour prayer with singers and musicians. Are you kidding? No. I wanted a young adult church that led 5,000 people to Jesus in my city.
Okay.
All in, these DNA groups, these home groups,
Yes.
and leading their friends to the Lord in the marketplace.
That was your vision.
I didn't want prayer meetings. I did prayer meetings, but I didn't really like them, to be honest. We were doing daily prayer meetings, but I only did prayer meetings because I thought I had to endure prayer meetings to have revival. I didn't like prayer. I liked revival.
Okay.
And
It's
my
like
idea,
I have to pay this to get
yeah,
that.
if I have to do boring prayer meetings, I will, but I don't want to. And he said, you're going to have 24-hour prayer. I thought, you got the wrong man. This is not me. With singers and musicians. I said, no possible way. And he said, you're going to pray for Israel. I didn't care about Israel. And he said, and you've heard the story, he saw smartphones. This is March 1983. He said, all over Asia, they're going to be watching singers and musicians in Kansas City on unplugged TV sets in their hand.
Oh, man.
I said, unplugged TV sets all over Asia. I said, get this in my head. Get this man out of my office. I said, no. And he said, he goes, "Are you a singer and a musician?" I said, "No. He said, "Oh, I thought you would be because I saw you leading this multitudes of young people, singers and musicians." I go, "No." He goes, "Do you pray for Israel?" I go, "Never. I thought the church was Israel, spiritual Israel." I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "I saw these unplugged TV sets all over Asia. Are you got a bird for Asia?" I go, "No." He said, "So you don't know anything I'm telling you?" I go, "No." He said, "The Lord told me you would be dull. I did not think you would be this dull." He really said that. I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "This is what I mean right here." He goes, "You don't know anything I'm saying." But then he said later, I thought this was stupid, to be honest.
Okay.
I really did. Because I'm a Bible guy. I'm not a prophesy if something happens in the park and then that means revival's coming. That doesn't make sense to me. And he said, when the Chiefs win the Super Bowl again, God's going to have an appointment at the Arrowhead. Arrowhead's the big stadium, the big city stadium, the 80,000 stadium. God has an appointment for the city in the Arrowhead Stadium when the Chiefs win the Super Bowl.
Oh, man.
I go, "What does that mean?" He goes, "I don't know." Well, many years later, that was 1983, so almost 40 years later, 2 years ago, in 2020, the Chiefs won the Super Bowl. That's the second time ever.
Oh, the second time ever?
There's been 57 Super Bowls. We won 1970 and 2020, 50 years exactly.
50 years exactly.
And that's the year where Andy Byrd, Arrowhead Stadium called Andy Byrd and said, "Would you use our stadium?" They called Andy.
Oh, my God.
And Andy talked to Lou Engle, and Lou said, "In my 30 years of doing stadium events, they never call Christians because the city gets criticism if they have Christians because the secular news, how come this, how come that, they get criticism. So they kind of push back on Christians, using stadiums. Billy Graham maybe is an exception. But Arrowhead called Andy the year we won the Super Bowl, and we went to Arrowhead Stadium, and I thought, maybe it's a real word, because all the years I thought, I don't know, because it was took 38 years to happen. I don't know. And people ask me for years, when we win the Super Bowl, I go, who cares who wins the Super Bowl? I mean, I like our football. That's fun. Yay. And then it's over, and then I'm about the kingdom of God, not football teams, although I like football. But when we won, and the same year Arrowhead called Andy, and we met in Arrowhead Stadium, I went, the Send. And many from Brazil were connected to us because, the Send was at Brazil, 3 stadiums,
crazy,
I thought, maybe that was really true because he said other words over the years, which I couldn't make sense of. To act like everything he said happened, that's not true. That would be exaggerated.
Okay.
I have about 25 stories of things he said that were remarkable, but many words he said, I didn't even know what they meant. So did they happen? I don't know. I couldn't even remember them, to be honest.